Greetings, teachers. Today I want to do a little video training on devotionals. We'll be doing them every day, and so I want to show you a gospel library resource that you can use as you go about setting this up. So we're going to go to Handbooks and Callings from the Gospel Library home screen, and then next is Seminaries and Institutes. And then next we're going to scroll down to Additional Helps for Teacher Development. And then additional teacher resources as the first prompt there. And what we're interested on this page is classroom management. I know that was a lot of steps, but here we are. I would recommend using Control F. As you can see, I've already done it previously. We're going to search with Control F for the word devotional. And we're going to use this arrow to get to the fourth choice. It's going to bring us to this section. Invite the Spirit through effective devotionals. Going to go ahead and close out of this search box so we lose all the yellow. This is going to go through a lot of great principles about devotionals. And so we'll just review a few briefly here. Class should begin with a devotional, a brief devotional. Devotionals can be an excellent way to unite students by turning their thoughts and their hearts to spiritual things. It can help teachers and students feel the Spirit and be ready to learn. A devotional generally consists of a hymn, a prayer, and a thought from the scriptures. It's most effective when students share their own personal thoughts, feelings, insights, and when they share their personal testimonies. I tell my students, plan to give a devotional that lasts a minute. 2 if they really have a lot to say. But long devotionals are going to be counterproductive. And we want to invite them not to make it playful, not to bring food for their spiritual thought. This is an opportunity to unite the class, to invite the Spirit, and prepare for a great learning experience. Okay, here's a couple practical pieces of advice, or at least ideas from things that I've seen in my classroom and in the classrooms of others. The first idea is for the teacher to begin modeling what a devotional should look like. So for the first class or two, you as the teacher will choose the hymn, assign prayers, and give the spiritual thought. And make it short and sweet, bear your testimony, share something that's meaningful, and invite students to repeat the same when it's their turn to do the devotional. After you demonstrate, I would ask 2 or 3 of my experienced, reliable youth, more experienced students, to do the next 2 or 3 devotionals, to really demonstrate how to do it, and so to build that training and that culture around effective devotionals. I would invite the class to use the hymn, the prayer, and the spiritual thought as an opportunity to leave their worldly cares behind and to begin preparing to exercise their faith and give their time to the Lord. I have seen teachers where the person that's responsible for giving the spiritual thought, they are also responsible for choosing a hymn and assigning 2 prayers. Or maybe you have a class president that does that. But you can just be pretty creative with that if you would like. Something I also like to do, which helps me personally manage devotionals, is I have every student write their name on some kind of devotional sign-up sheet. I could do it by date, or I could just have a running list of names. And so students always know who's next on giving the devotional and when their turn is approaching. Here's a tip on something because you know that students are just not there on the day that they're signed up to do the devotional. And then we're scrambling, right? Whose turn to do the devotional? They're not here, so we just find someone to do it, or maybe we don't have one at all. So what I would like to suggest is I have a running list. In every class, I write the names of the next 5 people that are signed up to do the devotional on the board. And before the devotional for the day, I'll say, okay, today's devotional is so-and-so. Our next 5 are Chelsea, Kate, Bryce, Jonathan, Shaylee. You're the next 5. Those 5 people know they need to be prepared to give the devotional when they come to class the next day. Because even if Shaylee is the last on the list, but none of the other 4 are there, Shaylee gets to give the devotional that day. So it's just a good way to set expectations to do devotionals, to set students up to be successful. those are my tips and some ideas in the short time we had in this training video. I highly recommend going to this section of the Gospel Library and reading through this and then deciding how you might apply the things that you're reading as you strive to have effective student-led devotionals.